During the past week, some people have been shitting on Polium, a Web3 console that's going to be released in 2024. What you're seeing on screen is not the GameCube. Hey everybody, welcome to DX News, the best and most exciting source for crypto and internet news on the blockchain, depending on who you ask. Anyway, enjoy the ride. Mom, I want a GameCube. But son, you already have a GameCube. Mom, you sound like a man. Well, yeah. During the past week, some people have been shitting on Polium, a Web3 console that's going to be released in 2024. Now, the console comes with a few red flags. First off, the logo. What you're seeing on screen is not the GameCube. It's a logo for Polium, so nothing suspicious there. Some of the other concerns is that some of the games that come with the console are not real, and other games require the users to go outside. And we know that you don't get into crypto because you like the outside world, especially if you're... So that's a big no-no for them right there. State-of-the-art revolutionary console, it's supposed to run at 120 frames per second, 8K resolution, something that some of the best and most expensive systems out there can't do quite yet. Now, they're also gonna sell the console without any hardware. So what you're paying for is a box. It's the exterior shell that has a logo of a GameCube. So this is such a fuck up that the worst gaming magazine out there, magazine Kotaku, had to write a piece of shit on them. I mean, guys, long gone are the days of GamePro and Nintendo Power magazine. Fuck everything now. We probably sound like a broken record with these guys, but we really have to remind you, if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. If it's in a centralized exchange, you have to read the fine print, because more than likely you didn't, and that crypto is not yours. Since the beginning of the bear market, we've seen several centralized exchanges and dApps really go kaputs and disappear overnight because they don't have the solvency. In this particular case, Voyager Digital decided to withhold all withdrawals or stop all withdrawals, and then later on filed for bankruptcy. Now, to understand how bad this is, I want you to throw back Thursday all the way back to your childhood when your daddy left to buy cigarettes on your mommy's car with her purse and your college tuition payment. This is worse than that. These guys got a $200 million bailout from Uncle Sam Bankman-Fried, and they still were not able to keep up with their business. At this point, it is not clear whether investors will be compensated or if they just gonna blame the bear market and move on. So from Uncle Sammy to Uncle Elon, the Boring Company is now accepting crypto coins. Can you believe that? So if they still had them available, you could perfectly go online and buy not a flamethrower using Dogecoin. So if you don't know what the Boring Company is, it's not a boring place to go to work. It's not a place where you go work and fall asleep. You're not one of our writers. So the Boring Company is a company that makes tunnels that are going to be used for Teslas, which for something called the loop. The Hyperloop is like a very sophisticated set of tunnels, kind of like an Uber for Teslas. So anyway, the Boring Tunnel is now accepting Dogecoin. So if you are interested in having Elon Musk come and dig an underground system under your city, you can now pay for it in Dogecoin. Moving along, guys, to the scam section. The British Army got scammed. So, Broobs, you gotta drop your biscuits. Broobs, I can't do this. Hey, Broobs. So, brew, drop the biscuits. Anyway, so the Redcoats need you guys to drop the biscuits in tea and join. Join to mint an NFT, because you can't fight for shit. You're British. So anyway, apparently the British Army is broke and they are trying to sell NFTs in order to pay for their teas and biscuits. Because you know, NFT means non-fungible tea. So on July 3rd, the British Army appeared on Twitter and YouTube to promote their series of NFT collectibles. So their Twitter account was hacked and it was changed for a fake minting page. YouTube, on the other side, went in the direction of Uncle Elon and Jack Dorsey, and they started asking people to send them their money and that they will send them back double. Now, we don't know the damages on this, but the last time there was some sort of scam on this on YouTube, it took over $1 million home. All we can say to the people who fell for it is stop sniffing glue. And continuing with the king of shady practices, just when you think that Coinbase can't outdo themselves or sink any lower, they reached a new high. So everyone knows that the whole purpose, or at least one of the purposes of the blockchain, is that you can have open transparency on transactions and still remain anonymous. Well, that's a big issue for immigration and for Coinbase, because one thing they don't like are illegals. A watchdog group found that Coinbase has signed a contract with the Department of Homeland Security, more specifically Immigration Customs Enforcement, or amongst other things, they will be providing something called historical geo-tracking data. Now, as to be expected, Coinbase denied it all. But you have to remember that the analytics arm of Coinbase that is in the situation now, they have faced controversy in the past, so this would not be new material for them. It's not something that they've never done before, and we're very sure it's not something that they would consider outside of their moral playground. And moving on with the US Department charging crypto scams. That's an amazing one. For the first time in months, the US government has decided to do something that won't piss its people off.
Impossible.
And what it was, they decided to charge 2 projects for scamming people. The first one was Empire X. This was a $100 million Ponzi scheme that had an actual very good 2-year run. Now, the 2 founders had promised a magical trading bot, and they are now facing 25 to 40 years in prison. I mean, all we can say, it is well deserved. And also that you are gonna get so fucked in jail, man. And you probably deserve it. But you know what? Kudos to you. Hope you enjoy it. Learn to like the pain. Now, in case you know who Duan Tuan is, Duan Tuan, now the Baller Apes project was also charged, and a person named Duan Tuan is facing now 40 years in prison for a $2.9 million rug. Duan Tuan. Sure, just call them Don Juan.
No.
Moving to the internet news, in case you are not happy with the way the political situation is moving in your area, you can, well, get together and wave wands away. Something sort of a Wingardium Leviosa kind of thing. So imagine you have your favorite or your preferred political stance. What do you do to enforce it and to get the voice out there? You're not gonna riot. Are you going to go marching? Are you gonna go parading? Are you gonna put signs up? Are you gonna, write blogs and get your word out there? No. Why would you do that? That's for mature people. You're going to get dressed up as Harry Potter and zap. Yeah, I just did a zap. I'm a crypto person. I have low IQ. Come on. So on Halloween, some TikTok witches and other magical creatures will gather together, and they're going to wave a big blue magical wand to wash away all the corruption and the bullshit that was left by Donald Trump. So Potter people, I hope that Doomslayer doesn't show up and ruin your night. Penguins have come out to protest their rights. I mean, really, you heard it right. Inflation is a bitch, and it has hit both poles, north and south, baby. I mean, really, it hit us here in DX hard as well. I mean, why else do you think we can't afford better riders? What do you mean? Oh. Okay. Well, apparently this guy's been with us since before the pandemic. Recommendation from IGN. Anyway, guys, there is a zoo in Japan whose name I can't pronounce and won't offend them by trying. Turns out that they've reduced the quota for penguin food. And this has upset the penguins so much that they're on strike. They are ruthless, they are not paying attention to the trainers, they're spitting back food, and they are refusing to eat. I guess if they keep up that behavior, they might end up on the grill. How would penguin wings taste? And to wrap it up, DX New guys, remember the Blockchain Futurist Conference will take place in Toronto on August 9th, and a very special person will be speaking on behalf of DxSale. We're also going to have highlighted speakers like Vitalik Buterin, Paolo Ardonio, and David Gokhshtein. My name is Louis, guys. Remember to like and subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss a video. As always, do your own research.